Welcome back to the channel, man. And today we got a follow-up one from the last one I did. We had Kenyon talking to a co-worker, trying to embarrass him basically, because the co-worker went on another podcast and talked about Kenyon's speech impediment. So Gil's gonna explain how everything happened or something. We're gonna hear what Gil has to say. Let's check it out.
Video itself, where the guy was saying it, he wasn't actually working with us yet with Gilbert Arenas. He was reading comments, and so this was a few years ago. So he was reading.
Oh, this isn't recent.
Yeah.
This isn't recent.
It wasn't recent. It was pushed to Kenyon like it actually was recent, but it wasn't a recent thing. He wasn't on the staff.
So fans found a video of his old co-worker talking about Kenyon, and Kenyon didn't even know the guy. Wasn't invited into his house. Wasn't met his kids or okay, it's making sense. I was asking that in the last video, like, why would you go on another podcast talking about your coworkers?
And I guess he was like defending me in a sense, and he was reading comments and going off the comments, and then he said that about Kenyon.
Okay.
And then after the fact, he met Kenyon when he came and started working for the company and stuff like that, and him and Kenyon became good. So, the people who held on to it, been, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to get it to Kenyon. And then, I guess since it came, to light, like, oh, we have the video. And then that's when he tried to apologize to Kenyon. So but since Kenyon never seen it, he just thought, oh yeah, well, don't worry about it. Now, he's seeing it, and so now he thinks, oh yeah, I had you in my house, I had you in my family, my kids, So it's one of those things where it's like, well, no, and it was before, and I had to check, because my dad, watches all that down below level content where they down there beefing. Doxing each other, recording, they, edit to make it look certain ways. So my dad was like, no. I watched that episode because I was like, ooh, wait, whoa, So he was,
I gotta check. Yeah.
My pop said, hey, no, it was not near. He was this when he was living here.
Yeah. Okay.
I was confused. Like, yeah. When he started saying I had a family, we all looking like, I had a family. I was around the kids. I was around the family. Like, who is he talking about?
I thought y'all messed up.
What's that Tyra Banks thing? Raise your hand if you were afraid. I was afraid watching it live. I'm taking notes for the day.
Mm-hmm. I dropped my
top. I said, hold on, what did I do?
Yeah, we was all like, and when you started reading it, everybody's like, oh, it wasn't me. Okay, cool. At that point, we didn't care what was happening, long as it wasn't us. It's kind of like this side of the room.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy.
I don't remember saying anything, but who knows? And then he called somebody else in. I'm like, oh shit, is he like gonna second it?
Let's go to second.
And then it started reading. And I'm like,
when I knew things were good.
Huh?
I knew things were good because he never stood up. If Kenyon would have stood up, that's when I was gonna be like, oh man, okay, hold on now. I was more.
And the last one I said I thought he had anger problems when he first got on the show because he would snap on Nick and everybody else, like serious snapping. As we as fans know, it's just a podcast. It's supposed to be serious beef is not necessary.
Afraid then. Like you calm and just sitting down, like you have no fear. Like there's nothing. Like if you I did it, and then just ran off. He didn't worry about none of that. But
it is
that's good though.
It's just
it's growth.
I didn't I haven't talked to George, but I remember when George, not when he said it, but when it started coming back up, I'm like, yo, And then I was like, well, you're around Kenyon now. You gotta let him know.
Face that, yeah.
It's one of those things. So he did try to apologize to Kenyon. I guess Kenyon didn't know what he was talking about, so the apology really didn't mean anything. I guess
that makes sense. Though.
I can't comment on stuff like that. I can't intervene on things like that because it's like I don't know what's going on. I don't know your conversations you guys had. I don't know your relationship you guys had. All I can do is, hey, as long as ain't nobody trying to throw no punches, if you got to get it off your chest, got to get it off your chest. And then, when I was driving home, I was thinking, like, did he have to do it on Gilbert Arenas? And then it's like, well, if this entity did it live, how can I say you can't do it live, no matter the audience? You know what I mean?
I didn't see a problem with that. People
Makes
thought that
sense.
there was like, why would he do this on? I'm like, come on now. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Makes sense. Perfect sense.
You put it like this. I can't say it was wrong. I can't say it was right. Like, I'm really on the fence of this. Like, it's like, okay, his was live. Okay, 100 people, right? No one's seen this, right? It's just those guys.
And seeing how George tried to explain to Kenyon, but basically Kenyon didn't want to hear it. George should have had the video playing in his face. That's the only reason they didn't have this conversation. Talk about I sent you the video.
Clip.
Old people ain't got time to be watching videos, bro. Like, it's a 6-minute video.
And kept it.
Better clip it.
Right, so you could address it on YouTube. Could address it, but if you decided to address it here, I can't say, well, hey, that's fucked up. I can't. That's not my place. That's what I said. I can't tell you how to react on something.
Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. If I make a clip about you, and you see it, and then you want to bring it to me, let's not do it while we're doing the recording. Let's do it offline.
Well, the difference between that is, motherfucker, you get to edit. That's the difference. You get to edit out, so you ain't really got to worry about it.
I'll leave it in. Fuck it.
Fuck it, I'll leave it in. Put my chest up.
Yeah.
Nah, but you know what it is. I don't know if it got clipped out.
What got clipped out?
It did, but by the time it happens,
Well,
live,
then it's dumb. It's worthless to us now, in the sense of this. What happened was real. It was a real thing, real emotions, right? Real reactions.
Yeah.
Why would you take it off of our platform from us getting 600,000-700,000 views and everybody else is going to get it?
Yeah.
Right. So now we're editing true feelings.
Yeah.
Right. One man felt hurt, the other man is feeling. I'm sorry. I tried. Even though you didn't see it, I still tried to make it right. Yeah. Something I did when I wasn't here. I didn't know you. We've never met. Right. I judged you. I made fun of you. And then when I got to know you, like, oh hell, shit. This is a good dude. I'm trying to make it right. So that's real. That's a real situation.
And for what it's worth, I think it now looks worse than I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if he's gonna be there tomorrow or not. He probably will be, but
man, that sucks for George. Hopefully George keeps coming to work, keeps showing, and hopefully Kenyon. I bet Kenyon is gonna do an apology, so I'm not even too tripped off about it. He's gonna sit down, take a couple days. I'm like, what? I got tricked into some of these internet folks. But let me know what you think, man. I don't know. So I'm not too worried. They're gonna be best friends again.